running out of dresses. Welcome to session 3, and today we're going to be doing the concepts and the contexts of the MYP. What makes that unique? Yes, that'd be great. So, how do we decide what we're going to teach? That's a question that many parents ask us. So this is the 8th year of implementation of the MYP here at Raha International School. The MYP is approximately 16 years old now around the world. The diploma came first, then the MYP and the PYP followed soon after. So I wasn't here for this school's implementation of day one. I was at a school in Indonesia where we implemented the MYP from day one, so I understand the process. And what happened here at Raha is we had staff from around the world teaching in the middle years, and they basically brought best practice with them. So what they had seen work well in their countries, they brought the content of that curriculum to the table. And then they decided, well, what's going to best suit our students? So in the beginning, we had a principal, Bridget Toner, who many of you will remember, who was from Canada. And so the Ontario curriculum formed a basis with some Singaporean Australian maths and some different influences from around the world depending on who was teaching at the time. So that sounds a little bit wishy-washy, and it probably is because it's the chicken and the egg. Where do you start with what you're going to teach and when you can't take a whole program from one country? Because with the Ontario system, we couldn't do the history and geography of Canada. That would not have suited our students. So we could bring in maybe some of the science units and the maths units, but we couldn't necessarily do the social studies or the humanities units from that country. So it has grown over time, and what the IB gives us is they give us now concepts that they say are important for teenage students to have. And so that is what guides what we teach. Based around those concepts, we choose the content. So what content are your students participating in today? It's grown since the beginning of the school, thankfully. And now the thing that guides what we teach is the diploma, actually. So everything we do in the MYP is based on these concepts, leading to their success in the diploma. So we have students, we have teachers who teach across the program. We no longer have teachers who teach across secondary and primary. That was something with the new timetable that became impossible. We only have Miss Whopper who does some social studies, and she sort of does separate days, but she's the only one that teaches across the two schools. In the secondary school, our teachers teach both diploma and MYP, and that's perfect. Schools that I visit around the world that have diploma-only teachers are wasting that resource because they are invaluable to lead us in the MYP about what the requirements are for our students to be successful. So our science teachers tell me we need some more data analysis in physics. The kids are not very good at it. They get a report back from the IB at the end of the exams, and they highlight the weaknesses of the school in general. This is a couple of years ago now, and one of the weaknesses that came back was data analysis in the physics exam. And so immediately, down through the MYP was embedded opportunities for data analysis, down to grade 7, 8, 9, and in particular grade 10. And so that's what we're continually doing. What do they require? What skills do they require to be successful in the diploma? And so that's where our MYP content comes from nowadays. The IB has one textbook, and that's a maths textbook. So we use the IB maths textbooks, and that is also added to with resources and IMI maths and other websites that the teachers use for the students. But that's the one textbook that the IB MYP publishers only. The IB gives us ideas, parameters of content that we need to teach in subjects like science and maths. So we do have the fact that we have to teach discrete number, algebra, geometry. In mathematics, we do have guidelines as to what we have to teach. And in science, it's the same. In grade 9s and 10s, there's some guidelines about what needs to be taught. So in grade 10 this year, for example, if you have any students in grade 10, a change in the curriculum has been that the students are doing a carousel. Have I mentioned this before? They're doing a carousel where they've got a teacher for 8 weeks and then they change that teacher. So there's a specialist biology teacher teaching the biology unit, then a specialist physics teacher teaching the physics unit, and then chemistry, and then an environment unit that runs in line with ESS. So we're trialling that to see if that works well for the students. It was a timetabling nightmare to make sure all those teachers and all the students were in science at the same time, but we managed to make that happen. But that's something we're trialling for grade 10, see how that goes, and we may take that down to grade 9 if that seems necessary. It won't happen in 6, 7 and 8 because it's a general science in 6, 7 and 8, so we don't have to have those distinct subjects. But we're always sort of endeavouring to improve the content for the students to prepare them best for the diploma. That's our goal, continually. So there's a continual curriculum development. So we will teach a unit and we'll say, like the grade 7 humanities teachers have already changed our unit. We've split it in half. We're going to do Middle Ages for the first 8 weeks, and we're going to do Global Village because we've reflected on what happened last year and we want to make it the best experience for the students. So those things will unfold as the year sort of goes along based on our reflection. Today you'll see that I've got the notebooks out. You're going to do a little bit of inquiry on the school website where the curriculum guides are situated. So if you ever want to find out exactly what's happening in each grade, in each subject, the curriculum guides are on the website. So today we're going to go looking for those, and we're going to be doing some work based on the information that I give you. Okay, so the IB decides that these are the key concepts that all students need to understand. So it's more than just the content of a unit. They need to understand a conceptual, they need to come to a conceptual understanding. Okay? So these are the 12 key concepts that are divided up between the subjects across the MYP. And I agree, they feel that these are the important things that students need to grasp. So there is content that is not dismissed, but really we're striving for conceptual understanding. We're driving for conceptual understanding. So we've talked before about the fact that any information is available at the touch of a button for our students. We want them to have the bigger picture. The bigger picture are the concepts that we want them to understand. So what I'd like you to do is I'm going to divide these 12 concepts between you, and I want you to, instead of me reading them through, I want you to have a read of your concept and tell the group what your concept is all about. Okay, so I'm going to number you off between 1 and 12, and you'll go down the list on this sheet of paper. Number 1 being aesthetics, then change, then communication. So listen for your number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so go down and count which number you are, and you're going to be given 2 minutes to read what your concept is. Here's what you need to do. Read what your concept is and tell us why you think that concept is important. So you need to tell us aesthetics means this, this and this, and then say to us as a group why you think aesthetics is important as a concept for our students, our children, to understand. Any questions about that? Yes.
So if we're number 7, do we choose?
You go down, count down here. 1, 2, 3. That's